Hi everyone, I'm Alexa. Thank you for joining me today for a 30 to 40 minute yoga class. So we're going to start in a comfortable seat. So you can either come to a comfortable seat, easy cross-legged seat. If that's not comfortable, you're more than welcome to come to sit onto the shins. Allow the palms to face down onto the thighs and just allow the eyes to gently close. Taking these first few moments of our yoga practice to connect, to tune into the breath. Sit up just a little bit taller, finding length through the spine. Let the shoulders melt down away from the ears. Begin to bring your awareness to the breath, nothing to fix or change, just taking a moment to observe the inhales, the exhales. Taking a body scan, starting at the crown of the head, scanning slowly all the way down through the body until you reach the toe tips. Notice any areas of tension in the body, maybe even in the mind. Take a moment to send your breath there. Take a deep inhale through the nose, fill up, breathing into the chest, the belly, the base of the spine. Exhale, let it go out the mouth, cleansing breath. We'll take one more like that together. Take a deep inhale, fill up. Exhale, let it go out the mouth. Allow the eyes to open. We'll get started coming into child's pose. So coming onto your mat or where you're practicing, you can bring the big toes to touch. Knees can open mat width distance. Crawl the fingertips forward. If the forehead feels far from the mat, you can always make a pillow with the hands. Taking a few deep breaths here. Crawl your fingertips out, tensing up onto the fingertips. Walk them over to the right side of your mat. Breathe into the left side body. Continuing with that linking of breath with our movement. Walk your fingertips back to center. Crawl them over to the left side of your mat. Deep breath into the right side body. Walk your fingertips back to center, press into the palms. We'll come up to tabletop here. Wrists under the shoulders, knees will be under the hips. You can keep the toes tucked or relax the tops of the feet onto your mat. Spread the fingertips wide. Take a deep inhale to arch the back. Let the eye gaze lift. Exhale to round, curl in, press the mat, the earth away. We'll take a few more like this. Big inhale, drop the belly, arch the back, look up. Exhale to round, curl in, moving with your breath here. Big inhale, arch the back. Eye gaze lifts. Exhale to round, curl in. We'll take one more together. Deep inhale, drop the belly, arch the back. Eye gaze lifts. Exhale to round, curl in for cat pose. Come back to a neutral spine here. Take an inhale to lift the right arm up. As you exhale, thread it through under the left wrist. Maybe the side of the forehead comes down to the mat. That left hand can stay planted or crawl the fingertips forward. We'll take a couple deep breaths here. Breathe into the back body. Walk your left fingertips back. Press into the left palm to lift yourself back up. Big inhale, right arm lifts. And as you exhale, right hand comes back down to the mat. Taking one breath here back at center before we move into the left side. Take a big inhale to lift the left arm up. And as you exhale, thread it through, this time under the right wrist. Right palm can stay planted or crawl the fingertips forward. Couple deep breaths here. Walk the right fingertips back, press into the right palm to lift yourself back up. Big inhale, left arm reaches up. And as you exhale, left hand comes back down to the mat. You can walk your fingertips a couple inches forward here, grounding through the palms. Tuck your toes under, send your hips up and back. Find your first downward facing dog. You can take any movements that feel good here, pedaling out through the feet. Might feel nice to bend the knees a lot. Shake the head, yes, no. Release any tension held in the neck and the shoulders. Few more big breaths here. And as you're ready, land in stillness here in this first down dog. Press evenly into the palms. Couple deep breaths here. As you inhale, roll the body forward, coming into plank pose. As you exhale, send the hips up and back, refine downward facing dog. We'll take this a couple more times. Inhale to roll the spine forward, firing up through the core. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. 2 more together. Big inhale, roll forward to plank pose. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Last one, inhale, roll forward to plank pose. And on your exhale, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale to lift your right leg up towards the sky. And as you exhale, step it forward between your hands. You can help your ankle forward here. We're coming into a low lunge. As you're ready, tap the left knee down, untuck the toes, sweep the arms forward and up, coming into crescent lunge. Option here, you can keep the arms extended or hands can come to the hips. So really using your core strength to support the body. Deep, full breath. You can keep the eye gaze straight forward here. Maybe you play with shifting the eye gaze up towards the fingertips. We'll take one more big inhale here. And as you exhale, hands come back down to the mat to frame your front foot. From here, begin to walk your fingertips back, straightening through that right leg. We're coming into half split, so you want your hips to stay right over the left knee. Fingertips content here to give you a bit more space. Should feel a nice stretch along the back of the right leg. We'll stay here for a few breaths. You can always have a soft bend to the knee here if the stretch is too intense. No, you can flex the toes to intensify or relax the toes to find a bit of softness. Few more big breaths here. Let's take one more inhale together. As we exhale, crawl the fingertips forward, rebend through the front knee. We're going to refine our low lunge, tucking the back toes to lift the knee. Left hand stays planted, reach the right arm up, coming into low lunge twist. You can always keep this knee down or keep it lifted. One more big inhale. As you exhale, right hand down, step back into downward facing dog. We'll pause here for a breath. Maybe you notice the differences between the sides of the body. And we'll take this on the left side. Big inhale to lift the left leg up. As you exhale, step it forward, low lunge. You can help your ankle forward, so really get the foot right between the hands. As you're ready, right knee taps down, untuck the toes, sweep the fingertips forward and up. Coming into Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge, deep, full breath. Again, you have that option to bring hands to the hips here to stabilize, or you can reach the fingertips. Make sure you're breathing. Maybe you let the eye gaze lift up. One more big inhale. As you exhale, hands come down to the mat. We'll come into our half split this side. Walk the fingertips back, straightening through the left leg. You can always have a soft bend to the knee. If this stretch feels like too much for you today, really listen, honor your body where you're at in this present moment. A few more big breaths here. We'll take one more deep inhale. As we exhale, crawl the fingertips forward, re-bend through the front knee. We'll re-find our low lunge, so back toes tucked to lift the knee, right hand planted, reach the left arm up. Low lunge twist. If this feels like too much, you can always tap that back knee down for a bit more support. Let's take one more big inhale. As you exhale, left hand comes down, step back into downward facing dog. From down dog, take a slow walk up to meet your hands. We'll come into forward fold here, so you can have a soft bend to the knees. Maybe it feels nice to reach for opposite elbows. Gentle sways, shake the head, yes, no. Couple deep breaths here. It might feel nice to really bend the knees a lot. Let the torso drape over the thighs. Release the elbows, slowly begin to roll up to standing. Taking your time here, stack one vertebra at a time. Head and neck the last to arrive. We'll land in our mountain pose, so really ground into the feet. Both palms will face forward. Let the shoulders melt down the back. We're going to start to link our breath with movement. So take an inhale to reach arms overhead, palms meet at the top. And exhale to release the arms down at the side. So you can stay at the top of your mat. I'm going to look towards you so you can watch me. Take an inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale to release the arms down at the side. We'll take a couple more like this. Big inhale, really reach through the fingertips. And exhale to release arms down. We'll take one more. Big inhale, reach both arms up. And exhale to release the arms down. From the top of your mat, we'll add on from here. So take an inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, fold forward. You can bend your knees a lot to ground the fingertips. We're going to step the right leg back into our low lunge. And then we're going to step the left foot back, coming into our downward facing dog. Take an inhale, roll forward to plank pose. We'll tap the knees down. We're going to lower down one piece, elbows hug in. Lowering all the way down to your mat. Untuck the toes, press into the hands to lift up, baby cobra, opening through the heart. Exhale to release down. Hands come under the shoulders, tuck the toes under. We'll press back through tabletop, coming into our downward facing jog. From here, take an inhale, lift the right leg up. As you exhale, step it forward. You can always help the ankle up. Step the left foot forward to meet the right. Halfway lift, long spine, press into the shins, big breath in. Forward fold, breath out. We'll take this on the left side. Big inhale, soft bend to the knees, reach up. Exhale to fold forward over the legs. This time, left leg steps back, low lunge. As you exhale, right leg back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale to roll forward to plank pose. Tap the knees down. We'll lower down one piece, elbows hug in, all the way down to the mat. Press the tops of the feet down, press into the palms to lift the heart, cobra pose. Exhale to release. Hands come under the shoulders, tuck the toes under, press back through tabletop into our downward facing dog. From here, take a big inhale, lift the left leg up. As you exhale, step it forward. You can help that ankle up. Right foot steps forward. Halfway lift, breathe in, forward fold, breathe out. Take an inhale, reach both arms up, overhead. And as you exhale, arms long at the sides. You can roll out through the shoulders, bending one knee, then the other, shaking that out. You can stay at the top of your mat. We're going to work with chair pose, so feet can be hip width distance here. You're going to sink the hips back, weight back into the heels, and sweep the arms up, bending at the knees. Let the shoulders melt down the back. You want to sit low here, really squeezing the navel in towards the spine. A few more big breaths here. One more big inhale, and as you exhale, fold forward over the legs. You can bend one knee, then the other. Shake the head yes and no, letting that first chair pose go. And we'll take one more chair pose. This time we're going to heel toe the feet together. So building on. So take an inhale to bend the knees, sweep the arms up, coming into chair pose. Make sure you're still breathing. Relax the muscles of the face here. Sit a bit deeper. Bring your hands to prayer. Take an inhale, lengthen the spine forward. And as you exhale, hook your elbow, twist to the right. So you want to press into the hands here. Really twist from the core. We're not here for long. Few more big breaths. Well, one more inhale. And as you exhale, release. Fold forward. Bend one knee, then the other. Shake the head yes, no. And we have one more side here. So take a big inhale, sweep the arms up, last chair pose. Bring your hands to prayer, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, lengthen the spine forward. Exhale to twist to the left, so elbow hooks the outer thigh. Really press into the hands here. Deep, full breath. One more big inhale together. As we exhale, fold forward, bending one knee, then the other. Nice work, everyone. Letting that go. We're going to move now into our standing warrior poses. So slowly roll the spine back up. No need to rush, taking your time. We're going to step the right foot towards the front of our mat. The left foot is going to come back. So you're going to want to play with the distance here. We're going to come into our warrior two. So your front toes will be pointing straight towards the front of your mat, and your back toes will be pointing towards the side. Deep bend to the knee, reach through the fingertips. And we're just going to take a few deep breaths here, noticing how this warrior two feels in the body. We'll take one more deep inhale here. As we exhale, straighten through the legs, reach arms overhead, palms meet at the top. Big reach. And as you exhale, re-bend into warrior two. We'll take two more like this. Big inhale, reach, reach up. And exhale to re-bend. Last inhale here, big reach. And exhale to re-bend. From here, straighten through your front leg. All 10 toes are going to face the same direction. We're going to fold forward into Prasarita pose. So keeping the spine flat here, core is engaged, fold forward. Allow the fingertips to come down. If the floor or your mat feels far away here, you can bring the feet a bit wider. If the hands can touch the ground, let the head and neck relax. We're going to take a couple of deep breaths here. So you might feel a deep stretch through the back body. That's a good thing. You're getting all the benefits of a handstand in this fold right here. A few more big breaths. And as you're ready, walk the fingertips out, lifting halfway to find a long spine. Maybe you bring the feet in just a little bit. Hands come to the hips, engage your core to come up with a flat back. We'll take warrior two on the left side. So right toes are going to stay this direction, left toes are going to face towards the end of your mat. Taking a bend to the front knee, making sure that knee is right over the ankle. Reach through the fingertips. Just taking a few deep breaths here. Shoulders are over the hips, eye gaze are focused over your front fingertips. One more big inhale here. As we exhale, straighten legs, reach arms overhead, flying warrior, really creating length through the side body. Exhale to rebend. Inhale, straighten legs, reach arms up. And exhale to rebend. 2 more. Big inhale, reach, reach, reach. Exhale to rebend. Last one. Big inhale, reach up. Maybe the eye gaze lifts here. And exhale to rebend. From here, straighten through your front leg. Turn all 10 toes to face towards the side. We'll take one more prasarita. So you can take that same variation where fingertips come down, or you can interlace the fingertips behind the back. Take an inhale to lift the heart, and exhale to fold forward any amount. Again, you can walk the feet out here, whatever feels most comfortable. If you have that clasp, maybe you work to bring the palms together, sending breath into the shoulders. Maybe you look one way, then the other. A few big breaths here. Let's take one more deep inhale. As you exhale, release the clasp if you have it. Fingertips touch down. Lift halfway, find a long spine. This time we'll walk our hands around back to the front of our mat, coming into low lunge here. So spinning off that back heel, fingertips or palms plant. We'll step back into downward facing dog. From down dog, tap the knees down. We'll come into a brief child's pose to find a bit of a reset before we move into some back bend. So option here to take the first one that we took, where big toes touch, knees open, mat width distance, crawling the fingertips forward. Or you can bring the knees together, reaching forward. So this second option will get a little more into the low back. So taking your choice, we're going to take 3 deep breaths here. And as you're ready, you can begin to walk the fingertips back out. From here, we're going to come onto our belly to move into some gentle back bend. So however you want to get there. We're going to start with Sphinx pose. So we're going to set up our alignment. The forearms are going to be grounded onto the mat. You want the elbows right under the shoulders. Spread the fingertips wide. Widen across the collarbones. Let the eye gaze lift up. You can keep the eyes open or let the eyes close, taking a few deep breaths here. You can choose to stay here to intensify this back bend. You can tuck the toes under, allowing the kneecaps to lift off of the mat. Maybe you give it a try, see how it goes for a few big breaths. Take one more big inhale together. As you exhale, release the toes if you have them. Lower the forehead down to the mat. You can make a pillow with your hands. You can shimmy the hips side to side. Release any tension held in the low back. We're going to take one more back bend here. So seal pose, hands are going to come mat width distance and your feet are going to come mat width distance. So this time you want to press the tops of the feet down. You're going to press into the hands to lift up. And listening, honoring your body, how your spine's feeling today. There can always be a slight bend to the elbows. You can even press up, straightening through the arms if that feels okay. Know that the further you walk your hands, the less intense it becomes. The closer you walk your hands towards you, the more intense it becomes. And just like we did with Sphinx pose, you can just allow the eyes to close. Taking a few deep breaths here. Let's take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, bending through the elbows, lower down. Again, you can make a pillow with the hands for the forehead. You can windshield wiper the knees from side to side here. So bending the knees, feet can go to one side, then to the other. So release the low back. Allow the tops of the feet to rest down onto the mat. Hands come under the shoulders. We're going to press back into down dog from tabletop. So lifting up to tabletop, tuck the toes under, Send your hips up and back. Just one deep breath here in down dog. As you're ready, tap the knees down to the mat. Come to sit on either side of the heels, swing the legs around. We're gonna move a bit deeper into our back bend. So we're gonna set up for bridge pose. So you wanna come onto your back here. Feet are gonna plant. You want the knees right over the ankles, arms long at the sides. And on an inhale, press into the hands, into the feet to lift the hips up. Deep breath here. Really press into the feet to keep lifting the hips up higher, really moving into the back bend. One more big inhale. And as you exhale, lower the hips back down to the mat, to the earth. We will take one more set of bridge pose. You can windshield wiper the knees here. Let that first one go. Plant the soles of the feet. Arms long at the sides, big inhale to lift the hips up. You can choose to stay here with palms pressing into the mat, or you can walk the shoulders underneath you, interlacing the hands. Let's take 3 more deep breaths. One more inhale. Release the clasp if you have it, lower back down to the mat. Windshield wiper the knees from side to side. And we'll meet together in Supta Baddha Konasana. So drawing the soles of the feet together, knees open, bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. You can allow the eyes to close here, just taking a quiet moment to reconnect to your breath. To feel your heartbeat, taking a moment to connect to your aliveness, to your vitality. Allow the eyes to open, bring your hands to the outsides of the knees to draw the knees together. We're gonna move into a reclined pigeon here, so a stretch for the low body. We'll start by leaving the left foot planted. Cross the right foot over, the ankle will come over the knee and flex through the right foot. Taking a few breaths here, you want the neck and shoulders to stay relaxed onto the mat. So if this is where you feel a stretch, maybe you stay here today. If you would like to take it one step further, you can interlace the fingertips behind the thigh or in front of the shin, allowing that left foot to lift up off of the mat. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And as you're ready, release the left foot back down to the mat, right foot down to the mat, just taking a breath here at center before we move into the other side. We'll keep the right foot planted this time. Left ankle will cross over the right knee. Make sure you flex that left foot to protect the knee. And just take a moment here to notice how this side of the body feels. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you take it one step further, reaching for behind the thigh. Again, let the head, neck, shoulders stay relaxed onto the mat. A few more big breaths here. And as you're ready, release the right foot down. If it was lifted, left foot comes down. Gently roll over onto either side and press into the hands to lift yourself back up to seated. We're going to take some seated stretches here. So we'll start with Baddha Konasana. The soles of the feet are going to come together, knees are going to open. So reaching for the outsides of the feet. Take an inhale to lengthen the spine up, and as you exhale, fold forward any amount, allowing the spine to round here. Let the head and neck relax. Deep stretch for the hips, for the legs. Few more breaths. And taking your time, slowly begin to roll the spine up. You can roll out through the shoulders. We're going to extend both legs long in front of us, so whichever direction you would like to face. We're going to take one more forward fold. So sitting up tall on the sit bones might help to tent the fingertips, flexing through the toes. Big inhale, long spine, reach up, and as you exhale, fold forward any amount. So you can work to reach for the feet, but let the hands land wherever they land. You can always have a soft bend to the knees if the backs of the legs feel tight. Let the head and neck relax. Forward folds are a great way to close your yoga practice or your workout, bringing calming energy to the body and to the mind. Few more deep breaths here. Maybe you find with every exhale melting just a bit deeper. And as you're ready, slowly begin to roll the spine up. Taking your time, no rush. We'll come to lie down onto our back, closing our practice with supine twist. So getting a nice twist in for the spine. As you're ready, hug the right knee in to your chest. Working to draw the right knee towards the right shoulder. And as you're ready, cross it over to the left side, any amount here. This knee doesn't have to touch the ground. You want the shoulders to stay grounded. You can bring the arms to a cactus or out to a T, depending on your space. Maybe you keep a soft gaze or allow the eyes to close. Final cleansing, purifying twist. If it feels okay on the neck, you can allow the head to fall over towards the right shoulder. A few more breaths. And as you're ready, slowly, gently bring the right knee back to center. Extend the right leg out long. Hug the left knee into your chest, drawing knee towards the shoulder. And as you're ready, cross it over to the right side. Again, arms out to a T or out to a cactus, really working to keep the shoulders grounded. Soft gaze, or the eyes can close. Facing straight up, or you can allow the head to fall over the left shoulder. A couple deep breaths here. And as you're ready, bring the left knee back to center. From here, you can extend both legs out long. We'll come into our final rest. So allowing the toes to flap open, palms to face up, coming into our Shavasana. If you have any tension in the low back, you can always bend the knees here, so that tends to help. So this is an acceptable way to close your practice as well. So either knees bent or legs long. Allow the eyes to close, take a moment to fidget, coming into stillness here. Letting go of the breath, letting go of the body. Feeling the support of your mat, of the earth beneath you, holding you up. Nothing to do, nothing to be but here. Complete rest, relaxation, Shavasana. Slowly begin to deepen the breath, beginning to come back into the physical body, into the present moment. Invite a bit of small movement, wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. Taking your time, moving slow, extend both arms long overhead. Take a long full body stretch here, waking up. As you're ready, bend one knee, then the other. Plant the soles of the feet down. Gently roll over onto either side, left or right. Pressing into your hands, slowly lift your way back up to a comfortable seat, keeping the head heavy, eyes closed. We'll end our practice just as we began, taking a moment to reconnect to our breath. Finding length through the spine, sitting up tall, let the shoulders melt down. Allowing yourself one last body scan here, starting at the crown of the head, scanning slowly all the way down to the toe tips. Noticing if anything has shifted or changed for you during your yoga practice. Bring your hands to prayer. We'll close our time together with one final breath. As a community, take a deep inhale, fill up. On your exhale, let it go out the mouth. Release your hands, allow the eyes to open. Thank you for joining me for yoga.